Hello students, this is Mr. Dan, and with this video I'm going to do things a little differently. Instead of reading the instructions, with this video you're expected to listen to the instructions and follow my example of what I'm showing you on the screen to help you with the week 1 activity for Module 4. So here we are in Module 4, and you can see up here at the top there's the tab for Module 4 in the browser. But I'm going to scroll down until we reach the reading and or resources section. And one of the in week 1 activities you're going to have to work on this to narrow the topic, which is a course spreadsheet. And what I'm going to do is to let all the students in this course access this spreadsheet so you can work together to fill out the information. There's a lot of things to fill out on this, as you'll see in a moment, but that's what this goal is, for you to work together to find information to narrow the topic. So what I'm going to show you is when we click on this, it opens up another screen, but you still have Module 4 here, so you can click that to go back to Module 4, and then you have the spreadsheet that we open that you're going to be working with. Now, if this is your first time or you're not familiar with spreadsheets, I'll explain some things to you in just a moment to help you with that. But I just want you to know this is the title. And we have narrowing the topic, which means we're going to find questions that we can search on the internet in places like Google or ask.com. And this is a good technique to find something a little bit more specific to search on Google. Okay, so a spreadsheet works like this. I've set this one up where you have different columns, and as you can see, as the columns go along, the boxes or the cells become smaller. And I already have some written in these spaces, but as I give this activity to students, I'll expect everyone to participate writing information in these blank boxes. And as you can see, we can go down. I'll speak with you about these in just a moment, but there are many empty boxes here, and students can work together to show me how to find searchable questions that you can use to research for your expository composition. So let's take a look at range 1, which is a slight red color. This is the primary category, and I've got animals, food, and movies. I only did 3 because if I go on, it'd make more and more boxes. But these you won't be able to change. I've got these set up, so it's going to be animals, food, and movies when you open this. And on range 2, which is a subcategory, this is where you become a little bit more specific. When we say animals, that could mean a lot of things, but I made it more specific by putting dogs. And I put my name here because this shows everyone who wrote dogs in this box. I would like for any student who wants to think of another animal to write that here, and you can put your name, and there's a space for one more animal. But I want to show you what I did with dogs. Dogs is also a little too general. We need to make it specific. So I've put over here in range 3 in the light green color, teaching and training dogs. Again, I've put my name so you know who wrote that there. And this is becoming more specific. What do we want to find out specifically about dogs? And it would be about teaching and training. I did say more specific, but there is a way of even making teaching and training more specific. And that's why I have over here potty training written. Now I didn't put my name here because I want you to see how I used all the way from range 2, range 3, and range 4. I found a way to make a question that we can search on the internet. What are the best ways to train a dog to use the bathroom? This would be a great thing to research so you can give information to people because sometimes people need to know that, especially if they have a new puppy in the house. This would be a topic you could write about so that people can learn about how to train the dog to use the bathroom, not in the house, hopefully, but in another place. Now, I put my name over here to show you that this is the question I came up with from narrowing the topic. Now, I've left a couple spaces here for dogs. Maybe someone would like to write something else about dogs. It could be house dogs. It could be wild dogs. It could also be about raising dogs. There are some people that raise dogs. Now, every time you come up with a specific topic, you're going to have to think of ways of making it more specific. For example, if you chose house dogs, it might be a specific type of dog that's normally in the house. You could put that information here, or you could come up with another question about house dogs. This might be a little bit more challenging or difficult, but I do want you to try to come up with something a little bit more specific based on the information that's written in these. Now, if you write something in one of these boxes or even one of these, I expect you to write something all the way over in one of these other boxes. Maybe not all three of them. Other students can do that. But each time you come up with something more specific, you should be able to write a question that would be good for searching on the internet. Now, I've shown you going to show you another example here. If we start with food, we can make that a little bit more specific, or come to another subcategory with Mexican food. Now, something specific for Mexican food would be tacos. Now, there's a reason I wrote this in red, because some students might make the same mistake that I did, and I want you to avoid making that mistake. If you write about a family gathering when you ate tacos, this is more like the last writing activity of narrative writing. It shouldn't be a personal experience. It should be something that you can find out some information to give more people. So I'm going to change this to a taco restaurant that you like. So I won't say which one, whoops, but you should think of maybe a specific taco restaurant. Let me change that back to black so you can see that now we've gone from Mexican to taco restaurant, or from tacos to taco restaurant. And in that taco restaurant, how do they prepare the tacos? That could be a good question. So I'm going to write that in. Now you would also want to write the name of that taco restaurant, because we're ideally thinking of a specific one. But I have my question there, and I put my name. Now I just want to show you one more last example. There are many spaces to fill out here, but I'm giving you this example of movies. I've created one called subcategory adventure movies, and then one movie maybe you've seen is Oz the Great and Powerful. I put my name here to show that I put this. Now this is pretty good. We know specifically which movie you're talking about, but maybe there's something even more specific you could write about that. One example is an actor. And think of the question like this: who is the main actor in Oz the Great and Powerful? Now you'll find a very simple answer on that. It's someone's name, but we can also find more information about that actor. If you search questions like what else can we know about this actor, you'll find a lot about his life, about other movies. And you could write information in an expository composition about an actor, a person. And this would be, once you have your question, you put your name over here. And that's basically the end. Again, I've made it where you can't make changes in this range 1 in the primary category, but you can make changes here, including mine, but I prefer that you don't. I want students to continue seeing this. So try to write in the blank spaces. Now, let's suppose that you accidentally do an oops and you erase something that I wrote there or another student wrote there. There's an easy way of fixing that. You can go to Edit and do Undo, and there it is again. So you don't have to worry that if you accidentally erase something, you can always undo that. So that's the instructions for this week. Your goal, your task is to fill out some information put your name in this to narrow the topic. I want you to find something more specific for animals, or something more specific for food, or something more specific for movies. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.